Welcome back to YouTube. It's been a little while, haven't shared very much. Really had big plans for this YouTube channel, but I've struggled to kind of find the structure that I want, but we're working on it. 2026 will be the year of YouTube for mental wellbeing, building a business with chronic health issues, all that jazz. And the first video I wanted to share was definitely supposed to go out at the beginning of January, not the end, but that's okay because it's still going out. I wanted to share my absolute favorite way of kind of setting business personal goals for the year. There are a number of ways you can do this. This is my way because I am someone who is unashamedly motivated by a little treat. I'm not sorry about that. I love a hot chocolate. I love going out for like a tea and a cake. As I like, well done, good job me. So this is the way that I've done this and set this up. You can also do this with champagne, drink of your choice. You can do it. I would recommend doing it with things that don't have a sell-by date on them, but it's up to you. I've also seen someone do it with big galaxy bars of chocolate, but to be honest, that won't last. So I do it with vouchers. So what you're going to do is you're going to set some goals. I have my envelopes and everything ready. So I have 7 goals. I then went out to buy Costa vouchers. This year I did Costa, I did Lush for one, and I did the generic, like anywhere you like. And there's a reason they're all different and they're all matched to a goal. I think I spent probably £60 in total, £10 on Costa, and then a little bit more on the others. One is empty. Which one is empty? This one is going to remain empty for a purpose. Oh no, actually, I'm lying to you. It's not empty. It has a note in it, which I did for myself, which is making me a little bit emotional. So I'm not going to talk about that shit. But you are going to set some goals, and I would recommend sitting down and just taking some time to look at what you want to gain from this experience. So I wouldn't go out and buy your vouchers until you've set your goals. I wouldn't make more than last year I did this with 10 goals and I think I hit 2 of them because I didn't put the structure in place to build those goals. I just did the envelopes, shoved them on the wall and didn't really think about them again. Whereas this year, and this is part of the reason why the video has taken so long to put together, is because I've set the goals, I've built the structure. So they're year-long goals. They've all got kind of a set time on when I'm going to achieve them, when I'm planning to achieve them by. And then they have quarterly structure, monthly structure, weekly structure for how I'm building towards them. So for me, I have one is Catherine Irene coaching. Then I have 2 studying goals with my coaching academy diplomas. So they are to finish the diplomas, and they both have Costa vouchers because the day that I press send on all of that paperwork, I'm going to go straight back out, straight down to Costa, spend these, buy myself a coffee and just breathe because that's a lot of work that I've just done. Then I have one made by Cat, which has a Lush voucher next to it because once I hit this goal, I'm going to need a bath bomb or 2. So that's this one. And then I've also set a goal which I'm going to hide because I'm a little bit nervous about it. But this is for kind of in-person work, specifically for my coaching business. And this one has one of those generic kind of everything vouchers because if I achieve this goal, I'm probably going to want some new makeup or something to wear to it. So that's there just in case. And then I've set myself a money savings goal for the year. This is actually the one that I achieved first last year. So I'm hoping we're going to do really well at this one again this year. And again, this is I might just treat myself to something skincare related. I've spent the money already, so it doesn't affect the goal. And that is there. And then I have one here that is a decision goal. And that is essentially that this year I'm going to take the time to decide whether to keep both businesses running for the 2 years. So what I've done is I put inside it a little note to future me that essentially whichever decision I've made is the right one. My intention is to decide by August because everything kind of rolls over, insurance, health and safety, all of that kind of wise, in October. So it kind of gives me like a bit of a deadline to work towards, and I've got a process. If I stay or if I go, I'm going to take myself to a spa, but I haven't put that money aside just yet because I don't know which spa I want to go to, when I want to go, any of that stuff. So the money is kind of not there, but it is there in a separate bank account. So I have one decision goal and then some action goals across every business and project, I guess, that I'm currently working towards. So what I've done, obviously it's pink because I'm a pink person. I've written the goal on the front. Each one is sat on the front of the envelope. And then what I do is I've got my voucher that I've paired with my goal, pop it in my envelope, close the envelope. Keep your receipt for your voucher as well, just in case you need it. And then one by one, I just keep them all closed. And then what I'm going to do is stick them all on the wall behind you, which you can't see because you're the wrong way around. And then I will just make sure that I keep updating the goal setting videos. You can do this with post-it notes and champagne bottles. I also know someone who writes with a Sharpie on champagne bottles. But some of those also are, I would say, these are kind of, I don't want to put myself down, but I don't think they're big enough goals to warrant like the expense of champagne for everyone. Some of these are like, and these, the intention of these is that they are achieved in 2026. It's not the intention that it's like the next 5 years or the next 10 years. So I know other people that do them with like, I'm going to buy a house or I'm going to make X amount in my business. I just don't feel like that's quite right for me and my goals. So little goals, little treats, things that I love. So I love a trip to Costa, love a little like hot chocolate treat with my mum as well. There's also a little bit of extra money in here to spend with my mum. The big mistake that I made last year, and I think I've already touched on it a little bit in the video, is that I didn't put the structure in place for myself last year. So I set myself a goal of, I think it was 150 online sales for Made by CatCat. Did I put how I was going to do that? How often it literally just, and then halfway through the year, I remember going, oh yeah, there's a Costa voucher with, or it might have been a Lush voucher. I didn't waste last year's vouchers, by the way. I did use them at the beginning of this year. Any that I didn't make, I did something else with. So one of these goals is my website. So I want to make sure that my Catherine Marion coaching website is like up and running. And what I did was I actually just did a landing page to start with that was quite time consuming. And I was like, you know what, I've done really well there. So I'm going to use one of last year's vouchers as like a well done me for the half doneness of that goal. Because obviously I want to have an all singing, all dancing, everything website. But my landing page was still a moment that needed marking. So yeah, what I've done is I've got my year-long goals, and you don't need to do this in one go. You don't need to do this at the beginning of the year. You can do it partway through the year. You can do it as a 5-year set of goals. You can do it as a 6-month set of goals. You can even do it as like, if you've got a studying type project, you could just do every little milestone. You're going to go and buy yourself a bar of chocolate, or you're going to go and take a day out somewhere, go for a walk, set yourself like a voucher to your, that you, a you to you voucher. So it could be, I'm going to take the dog out for a walk once I've done this, because I know that will be quite, and I'm going to go to like a specialer place than the usual park, whatever works, whatever motivates you in that moment. And so yeah, here are all of my goals. I have my structure in place, and there will be another video coming where I'm going to show you how I make my month work. It's making sure there's no set deadline on them. Obviously the vouchers expire, but there's no set deadline on when I'm going to achieve these, but I have a time frame in mind. I also have mini goals inside that. So the money that I want to save, I know how much money I want to put away each month to hit that goal. I'm also very, very aware that there are multiple chronic health issues going on, and this channel is about marking that fact within myself as well. And this year I started low. I had a really bad kidney infection. I had to take antibiotics. I was then poorly after the antibiotics because I can't usually take antibiotics. It was a whole big mess. And so I feel personally like this way of goal setting and structure setting and year planning allows me to work with my health issues as well as the business goals. So that was a lot of blah at you, but essentially set your goals, set your structure, take that time to think. Take yourself out to, I got all of mine in Tesco's, but you can go wherever you like. Think about something that really motivates you to move forward. It doesn't have to be vouchers and envelopes. It can be champagne, it could be chocolate, it could be makeup, it could be skincare, anything that really motivates you to keep moving forward. And don't feel ashamed of what you're motivated by. It's what works for you is what's right. Write them down, make sure they're in view, make sure you've got your structure, make sure you're reflecting on them at least monthly, I would say. Make sure that you're on track, and if anything needs changing, just change it. Like if you get to the point where, say it's a studying related goal, so I'm working towards 2 new coaching diplomas, I might have to pause that for reasons beyond my control. I'll just adjust the goal. It's as simple as that. Make it work for you, make it really enjoyable, and just have fun with it. And yeah, let me know how you get on.